kind of infrastructure, the development that, and the amount of resources that was sunk in that stadium. But hiyo kando Mourinho na hao wengine, let's now come back to the local league. Gor Mahia stumble. If you ask me, this is another league that has a lot of inconsistency. I've been looking at FC Leopards as a team that can give challenge to Gor Mahia. But now I'm starting to think differently. When they lost against Mathare United, I felt that surely that score was an outrageous score. They picked another loss against Police over the weekend. Leon, what's happening at Leopards? Before we come back to this, the match, the highlights we are watching on the screen. Leopards, for me, is a cause of concern.
Okay, I think as a fan who's rooting for Leopards to get the league this season, I was very disappointed over the weekend when they lost to Kenya Police. And I remember the last time while we were seated here, I talked about points at hand are better than a game in hand. And I told you so. We saw Gor Mahia lose to Tusker. And I think FC Leopards had the chance to win against Police and go top of the table. And they missed that chance. But again, Gor Mahia also dropped points, so it helps FC Leopards. So at the moment, the point difference is 3 points. But again...
But Leon, I'd like to differ there. I think it's FC Leopards who should be giving the pressure.
Yeah.
In that, in any case, they picked the 3 points against Police. We could be talking about something else.
Yeah, that's why I've talked about Gor Mahia losing to Tusker. After Gor Mahia lost to Tusker, that was the moment that FC coming into the Police game, if they win, they go top. But they fumbled, which the advantage came back to Gor Mahia. But again, Gor Mahia dropped points against Bandari. So FC Leopards, they might sit and think about, okay, we fumbled, but again, another advantage. So the difference is 3 points. Are you seeing what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
And again, if you watch that FC Leopards versus Police, they played the good football. It's just that they were unlucky. They conceded 3 first-half goals.
Dantos.
Yes.
I'd like to, once again, I'm differing with Leon when he says that they played well. I've not seen Kelly Madada. I've not seen Tyson Otieno. I didn't see them in this match. You know, I normally talk about a good player is described by big moments and big results. Yes, we've been talking about Tyson Otieno to be called into the national team. Kelly Madada was in the youth team, and we are expecting more from him. I didn't see the two players. I was expecting much from them in this encounter.
I think, first of all, as an FC fan, I think we are doing good, because if you compare us last season and this season, after the election of the new management came in to the office, I think we are doing good. But the pressure that we need to give Gor, we're not giving Gor that pressure. And I think one thing that I noticed, when FC Leopards took in a recess, that Kirudi, is either a draw or a lose. So I don't know what the players normally do after this short period of where hakuna games zinachezwa. That's normally affect us, and that's one of the things that a coach akirealize anafaa kuwa on it. Mi ukiniuliza tu hivyo. But for FC Leopards, me as a fan, I think we are in the right track. We are giving Gor a run for their money, because this time round, Kenya Premier League is like EPL. FC Leopards, Gor Mahia. EPL we have Manchester City, Arsenal. Points do pale zina matter. And why am I saying we're doing well? There was a time Gor Mahia competition almost 9 points, 8 points. So I think catching up with them, it's a good thing. Right now we are at least three points behind them. And wanasema over the weekend they decide who is taking the trophy, the EPL. But for me, I would love to see FC Leopards taking this trophy this time round. Just a change in the Kenya Premier League, just to show other teams that even another team can take. Gor has been dominating this league. Gor walitoa pale Tusker. There was a time Tusker was dominating, but right now we need FC Leopards also to come back to the zile za kitambo zile. Unanipata? Ndio sasa ligi kuwe tamu. And I think that's what FC Leopards is doing. And big up to the management of FC Leopards. They are doing a fantastic job.
There's a lot of stability.
Yes, there's a lot of stability
at Leopards. And kudos to my friend Boniface Ambani.
Yes.
The ship is now stable. Fred Ambani, good job. But let me come to you, Felix. Dantos has talked about the good challenge that FC Leopards is bringing to the league. I still don't believe that the challenge is that good, because Gor Mahia are still sitting pretty on top of that league.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty very well, because at the end of the day, FC had a chance to go top of the table. Because Gor Mahia, before FC playing Police, Gor Mahia was ahead with 2 points.
Yes.
So, as he said, Gor Mahia losing to Tusker, it was a chance for FC. Just win your games. There's no like this team is better than that. Just win your games. Na hapo ndo nimekuambia kitu moja Rocho. Quality of players. Gor Mahia know how to win. Gor Mahia is the Man City of Kenya.
Do you think, just a moment, do you think that Gor Mahia really knows how to win? Because I was expecting Gor Mahia to pick a point, 3 points against Bandari. I expected Gor Mahia to pick 3 points against Tusker. And I feel that we are getting a team that is going to represent Kenya. That is not ready to represent us. Do you think that they really know how to win?
If you compare the two teams, we are talking about the two teams who are the title contenders, which is Gor Mahia and FC. Who is good at winning? Gor Mahia know how to handle pressure. And we have seen that several times. Kuna time Tusker could be closer to Gor Mahia, but Gor Mahia know how to handle pressure. And then, for example, they are like Man City, they know how to handle pressure. Game ya jana, hatutaiongelea sahi, maybe next. Game ya jana ilikuwa na pressure. FC on Saturday, losing 3-0 first half. Already even hapo venye nimekuambia body language ya wachezaji terrible. For me, I'm that person, ningependa sana FC bebe ligi. I'm a Gor Mahia fan, but ningependa, being a football fan, kuna sometimes you don't have to be biased. FC have struggled for it since 1998. Hakukuwa hata na M-Pesa.
That one you only knew. Well, let's listen in to Fred Mbani, the head coach of FC Leopards, what he had to say after the match.
Leo tulikuwa tunajua Leopards ni timu ambayo inamiliki mpira, so tukasema wacha tuzuie kutoka mid block, na nadhani katika hiyo mid block tulipata right, kwa sababu kiangalia tulipiga bao na hiyo transition. So I think vijana wangu walifanya vizuri sana, na defensively we were very organized, and I'm happy so far for the output.
Coach, kibarua kikubwa mbele yako, dabi inakuja, ni kitu gani ambacho unakwenda kukizingatia na kufanyia kazi kutokana na matokeo ya leo, lakini pia mechi hii inayokuja itakuwa na faida kubwa sana kwako kutokana na kukosa alama 3 leo?
Naam, nasema dabi sasa inabidi lazima tuangalie vile tutashinda, hiyo ndio sasa imebaki option yetu next. Na lazima pia wachezaji wajue at least kuteleza sio kuanguka, kuna another day na bado tuko kwa race.
Two former FC Leopards players, Nicholas Muyoti, currently the coach at Police FC. Good job. And of course, Fred Mbani, another former FC Leopards player, currently the FC Leopards head coach. Guys, let's move over to the Gor Mahia match. I'd like us to talk about the officiating. I feel that something needs to be done. We saw, and I think we'll have it on the clip, the referee made a decision that that was a penalty, that's against Bandari. Then all of a sudden he changed his mind. Leon, what's happening?
I think that call, it was a hard call for the referee to make. Looking at where the referee was standing, it was a very hard call for him to make. And it's so unfortunate that we don't have VAR in the league. But again, the main problem comes in when the referee, you've already given the penalty, we don't have VAR to turn it over, then you turn it over yourself. How can the referee justify the fact that I gave a penalty, then I overturned it? But on my side as a fan, when I was watching that game, I felt like it wasn't a clear-cut penalty. It was a little bit soft. If there was contact, it was a little bit soft. The referee gave it because he was in a position whereby he couldn't see very well. And for him to overturn it, I disagree with him. And after that incident, we saw some wrangles with the Bandari players. And I think he should have given out a red card. The two players, the Bandari players, the goalkeeper and I guess the defender who touched the referee. We always know that if you touch the referee, it should be a red card. But he didn't give out the red card. So I think the inconsistency in the officiating in the Premier League in the country at the moment is really letting us down.
Dantos, you see Leon has talked about the position of the referee. I feel that the referee was in a good position to pick that call, and we will see in the clip. What is your take? Gor Mahia was struggling to get a goal, then something more or less a penalty. Now let's look. First of all, do you think this was a penalty? And if it was a penalty, if it wasn't a penalty, now the referee is confusing himself, Dantos.
Okay, I think for me, I've watched these clips a lot of time from yesterday, and I think this was a very soft tackle, and each player there, they were on the run. All of them, they were on the run, and that speed. But referee giving a penalty, then at some second, after some seconds, it's not a penalty. It raises a lot of questions. And I think referees in these countries are one of the guys that wanatumambaka ili getu naka ya ushamba kabisa. If you ask me, they don't have their quality. If you're a referee, stand with your stand. If it's a penalty,
you stick to what your initial decision.
If it's a penalty,
but
it's a penalty.
Dantos, you know, let's also be fair to the referees.
Yes.
You have only 3 seconds to make a decision. You know, for us, we have the latitude to look into the replays. But the referee has only 3 seconds.
Yes.
In fact, at times even 2 seconds to make a decision. First and foremost, I disagree with anybody who says that the referee was off position. He was just behind the
Yes, he was in the best position.
He was in a very good
to look at it.
But when you say that the referee changed his decision, and yet he had only 3 seconds to make a call.
That's what I'm saying, Arocho. If you're a referee, stand with your stand. If it's a penalty, let it be a penalty. Hata kama video tunaonyesha iko penalty, but you're the last person to decide what's happening in the field. It's a penalty, it's a penalty. And I think this time round, Gor Mahia fans, they think that like referee, they're not on our side. If you see a game against Tusker also, they were complaining about a penalty. Yesterday, penalty. They're not been given. I think if you're a referee, stick to your decision. Stick to your decision. If it's a red card, give somebody a red
card. So you stick to your confusion?
Yes.
Felix Junior, you said you're a Gor Mahia sympathizer.
Yes.
What do you think about this call?
First of all, nilikuwa study ya Rucho. Na where nilikuwa nimekaa, it was a penalty. Where mali nilikuwa nimekaa. Venye umesema. Hiyo tunaona mara kwanza study ina replay. It was a penalty. Sawa? But sa zile nilijita meeting, when the game is over, nikaona video, there was no contact.
There was no contact?
There was no contact. From the video...
So the referee got it right?
Got it. The problem is, he never got it right. The fourth official is the one who changed it everything. Na ukiangalia video vizuri ya Rocho, kuna fourth official anakimbia na hiyo. Sijiko umemwona? Hiyo video ukiangalia from mbele, kuna fourth official anapita. Na yeye aliita referee. Referee akaambia referee si nini? Juu referee after kusema penalty, Rocho, there are only 2 things the referee can change. Aende kwa VR angalie. Ukiangalia vizuri, referee anakimbia ngaji ya Rocho, diagonal. Ilikuwa blind side of assistant. So assistant ako involved. That's one unavenya alipea penalty, assistant alikimbia wapi? Kwa box.
But that is the second assistant on the other side.
Yeah, sasa ako kwa blind side.
Okay.
2, Arocho, mchezaji akidive what happens?
He should be given a card.
So kwa mfano kama si penalty sa yellow card.
Yes.
Iye kukua. 3, players wamekuja wamekupush.
Referee.
That's
first thing, unaona decision kama hii ya Rocho as a referee, unajua kutakuwa na pressure. Ule wa kwanza anafika Rocho.
Kadi.
Wa pili, hata captain akikuja na force is a player.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you are amba kufanya venye anataka aggressive. Akikuja tu na hiyo aggressive tu kwanza hiyo unaona hiyo kitu ainge accelerate. Rocho, ainge accelerate. Ingekuwa tu ifanye nini? Itulie, then referee itwe na fourth official ikue. But sasa point is ile kitu ulisema sheria ya referees confusion is final. Hiyo sheria ni kama ifanyi.
No, but guys, we also need, once again, nitaisema tu. Being a referee is not easy. And a referee has very few seconds to make a decision.
Also create game ya Gor. Ama FC.
Okay, a big match. A big match. It's high risk match. Yeah, high risk matches.
Yeah.
So we, as much as we also want to appreciate the fact that they have very few seconds to make a decision, they also need to be quite decisive and follow the law. Let's move over to
kuna kitu ningesema. That pitch is not playable.
Wow.
That pitch
I posted that on my Facebook an hour, 2 hours before that match.
Hiyo ni kutubiri kwa
there's something we are doing, guys, and I feel it's a catch-22. You know, we have very few pitches in the city.
Country,
In the city. In fact, other than Nyayo, we are running it down. Other than Kasarani and Ulinzi and the annex, we have no pitches. As much as we are blaming the guys who are handling the pitches, but we have very few pitches, guys. But it's the league wapi Leon.
But I think, Arocho, the Kasarani issue, I think it comes down to poor maintenance. I think after the CHAN competition, we knew very well that we have AFCON ahead of us. They could have worked on that. On my side, if I was part of the team that is working on that pitch, I would have closed it down after.
But if you close the pitch, where else will we play the games?
Let's use Annex. Let's use. I see Tusker using Embu, Wanguru. Let's try, and we have so many pitches, Arocho. I think it's just about we are not utilizing what we have.
But Arocho, I think also Kasarani. I read somewhere that people are complaining about Kasarani, but the funding itself, Kasarani, it's being owned by a certain stadium management. The government is not yet paid the certain amount that is equivalent to millions. So, but having said that, I think that cannot be an excuse, because if you're going to host such a big event like Africa Cup of Nations,